Welcome to the Hany and Dave show, where we enter through the gamergate, knock on the gamer door, and run away up Gamer Street. Oh, and topical news quiz thing. In the best video game traditions, the players level up by earning experience, which is awarded by me for being interesting, knowledgeable, and amusing. And while XP can't be lost, an incorrect answer will see experience awarded to the other player. I'm beyond caring.
Sorry, I don't exist yet.
Is that a hint that there'll be a question about the Beyond Two Souls rumoured remake for the PS4?
It's trying to get one in early.
I like
it. Oh, just throw it in there. Oh, the remake in there, Beyond Two Souls for PS4. If I get that in now, I'll get experience. Like it. It's a good tactic. So, gentlemen, you know the script probably better than I do by now. Do you have buzzers with you this week?
Yes.
Far away, Dave. Now classic and legendary. And Hany.
Yes, I've brought back a buzzer from season 1, since I think I'd already rehashed the others I used this season. I now remember losing with this buzzer last season, so it's probably not going to fare much better this time, but here we go.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
It's like my podcasting career in a soundbite.
Didn't mean to drain your enthusiasm.
Oh, well done. Very good. Very good. Yeah. Fight the system.
Wow.
That was poor, wasn't it? Okay, sorry. I've embarrassed myself and I'm all flush.
What are you on about? Sorry. Yeah, it's this. Anyway.
I'd like to see you bend some more pans.
Oh.
Pipe down.
Oh dear. Right. Games, video games, those digital things that people like to play sometimes when they're not arguing. Have we been playing any?
No, I'd be too busy arguing. No, I've been.
Fair enough.
Obviously more StarCraft. I also started playing Crack again, which I probably should avoid playing.
What's
Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe.
Oh yes, that's definitely Crack.
Building trains all day. So, yeah, I've been trains. I can't. Every time I start playing that game, like days passed.
Yeah, I know.
I get called up the wire and you at work. Like, oh crap, 24 hours have passed and whatever.
Cool. Hany?
That's just, my mind's gone blank except for Transport Tycoon now. that is like if I had a top 10 list that was titled the top 10 most addictive games, that would be number 1, because it's like it is the most addictive game I've ever played. You kind of, like just now, Dave mentioning it, I'm kind of reminded of it every now and again, and then you boot it up and before you realise it's 5 a.m.
That's like online servers. You can play competitive trains.
Oh, don't tell me that. I'm gonna I actually like stop myself booting it up now because I'm like, I've played it enough and such. But it is really, really addictive. It used to be the only thing, like back in the day, like a decade ago or something, when I'd be like on the phone to my girlfriend or something, and it's the only time when we'd be having a conversation, I wouldn't be able to turn it off. So suddenly, because I'd clearly be like, talking slowly or such, and she'd be like, "Are you playing that train game again?" Maybe. Turn it off. But I'm almost completed the new track, and I'll make $100 extra on this one because it actually goes through 2 highly populated cities, and then you get the coal to the refinery. Yeah, you just get some stern looks. But yeah, I haven't been playing Transport Tycoon at all this week. I have been playing Bravely Default on the 3DS. Or did I already mention that last week?
Don't. Yeah, it's all kind of a blur.
It's all a blur.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still playing Bravely Default because it's really, really good. It's much better than I thought it would be. I mean, I thought it looked like it's obviously a JRPG. I thought, it looks like a fun JRPG with very pretty graphics and a somewhat suspect English voice track going by the trailers. But when I started playing it, it turned out it had a slightly hit and miss, but largely okay English voice track. Really pretty graphics, a great battle system, excellent music, and it kind of does away with a lot of the guff that's built up over the years on games like Final Fantasy. So it really goes back to basics, but not in a way where I'm going to say it only appeals to the sort of retro crowd who just go after all the games that are literally recreations of old style things. It's more like a reimagining, I'm going to say, of how the classics RPG would be if you made them today.
I seem to recall it was reviewed well, but JRPGs just aren't my bag, maybe.
Yeah. If they're not your thing at all, then it won't appeal to you. But if you kind of went, I used to enjoy them, then you kind of be surprised to go, oh, actually.
Yeah, no. Final Fantasy VII, shite. Yeah. Right, news. All the news that's fit to print. As ever. Sorry, what?
I was going to say so none, in other words.
It's a conspiracy. We're suppressing the news.
Yeah, print is dead, Kevin. Gaming's dead, and
Gaming's dead. Gaming journalism is also dead. Everything is dead. They're all dead, Dave.
Everybody is dead, Dave. Everybody.
See, one of us should have said that line, Dave.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Just talking to myself there.
Brilliant. Right, as ever, there are 6 imaginary boxes for you to choose from, which will lead to a question rooted in a news story from the past 7 days. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a Clarkson by the toe. Hey, Dave, we'll start with you this week.
I will have number 4, please.
Number 4. You've got a thing for number 4, haven't you?
Well, 3 is everyone picks 3. And then, I don't know about the other 4 numbers, to be honest. Balls to them, it's going to pick 4.
Right. Fair enough. Who allegedly does whatever the fuck he likes?
Literally anybody at this point, I think.
I'm just trolling him at this point.
I was going to say Phil Fish, but that's probably, while true, is probably not actually anything to do with this. And I think I just, part of the story is coming to my mind, and I can't remember it. Is it JonTron?
No.
No.
No, it's not.
I'm done.
This isn't anything to do with anything that's going on social networks at the minute, or even websites. This is a proper news story.
A proper news story?
Proper news story.
Then I have no idea.
Hany, any idea?
Yes, indeed. Although, before I answer, speaking of Phil Fish... Anyway, oops, set it off again.
So much toilet.
Double Flush Friday.
Randy Pitchford.
Randy Pitchford, indeed.
Sega was sued, I think, in the US over that very hyperbolic Aliens Colonial Marines preview that was shown at E3. And I believe Sega already settled for $1.25 million.
Yeah, that was the settlement they offered.
But and already, I think during the case, possibly before the settlement, Randy Pitchford or Gearbox in general claimed that basically, because I think possibly both them and Sony were being sued, Gearbox claimed that it was marketing, and since Sony are the publisher, they're in charge of PR and marketing, so it's not Gearbox's fault at all. And even though they've already settled, Sony... Why am I saying Sony? Sega. Sorry.
Sorry?
I was confused for a second there.
I know that they all sound the same to me. Anyway, Sega...
Racist.
Who cares? These games publishers, they're all corrupt. Anyway. Stop it. Yeah, basically, Sega then... I'm not sure they released something, but I recall anyway reading about these emails that got out, and between Sega's sort of PR and marketing people, basically saying that it was Randy Pitchford's idea, and he always does whatever the fuck he wants to, and they were even discussing basically not holding any more panels so that he didn't start leaking and saying loads of stuff that was more hyperbole.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, it was Gearbox Software's Randy Pitchford who comes in for personal criticism in papers filed by Sega in the ongoing lawsuit in the US regarding Aliens Colonial Marines. Developer Gearbox have petitioned to be removed from the case, laying the blame for the marketing and presentations of the game at Sega's doorstep. And Sega have offered a settlement in the case that would effectively offer some form of reimbursement to anyone who pre-ordered the game and so believed the footage shown genuinely represented the final product. The submission from Sega, however, contradicts Gearbox's claims and includes emails between both parties that would seem to support Sega's assertions that Gearbox leaked footage unsanctioned by the publisher and that Pitchford was a key component in the marketing strategy. It's also noteworthy that the E3 footage that forms the cornerstone of the misrepresentation claims was narrated by Pitchford himself. Yeah. Several weeks ago on the pod, Gearbox came up, and it was pretty much agreed that Randy Pitchford is a knobhead. So that was,
well, at least there was an agreement.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty. Because Gearbox aren't very good. They don't make very good games, and Pitchford is a prick.
Yeah, I mean, I saw him talking the talk during the thing. I went to a Duke Nukem launch event, where I asked the. Sorry, it was they interviewed Randy Pitchford and he was blabbering away. I did get to ask the Duke Nukem impersonator they had there if he needed any bubble gum because I knew he'd run out. I hope someone gets that reference.
Oh, I got it. I thought you were going to tell me like he didn't get it, and then it would have been sad.
I don't know if he got it or not. To be honest, he was really accurate to how you think Duke Nukem look. Maybe he should have been slightly taller. But I'm not sure if he got it or not. But he did take a strip of gums.
Well, you can't really go kick ass in a convention, can you?
You probably just thought, what a lovely chap bringing me some gum.
Possibly. He was probably like, why don't you bring me a beer from the bar? You bastard.
These gamers.
But, was it something else about Randy? Oh, no, I was just going to say, like, I can totally believe Sega themselves, being hands-off with the kind of, if Gearbox wanted to do something, just letting them do it. Because they are, like, when they're partners with people, they are rather hands-off publishers. They're not very sort of insistent or overbearing in a way that I'd imagine EA or such would be. And their studios, like Creative Assembly and Sports Interactive, very much, feel independent kind of thing, apart from the obvious necessary communications and information exchange between publisher and subsidiary.
Marvellous. Okay, right, Hany.
Yeah.
Number 4 has gone. Pick a number.
2.
Number 2. Who wants everyone to be nice?
What? Is this news? Because you do realise, like, half of the internet is split and... Well, actually not half, like... how can I 45% on one side, 45% on the other, and then 10% in the middle want everyone to be nice to each other. Like, effectively, Dave wanted people to all, be in a field and not on a fence and everything. So I could say Dave.
Yeah, I'll take that. That's fine.
Also, Mike Bithell.
Yes.
If that was what you were going for.
And
yeah.
you've got 1,400 names to pick from.
Wow.
Who wants everyone to be nice? You, possibly? One?
Well, I'm not that bothered.
I want everyone to be nice. Oh, you're talking about the petition also. The thing is, there are like 3 now. One from the developers, one from the other side. And half the people signing it are the nice people, but the other people which are standing next to them insulting the people from the other side, because everyone's picked sides now. So yeah, there are petitions asking that everyone people should be free to play games, any games they like, from the casual to the core player and all that, or without naming names, and should be free to both play them, study them, critique them, and make them without prejudice, and harassment should stop.
Exactly right. Yes. So you couldn't really get that question wrong. To be
no,
fair,
it's too broad-reaching.
Yeah,
I was actually going to read out Mike Bithell's whole blog post if you wanted, but
it's all right.
Yeah.
Anyone can go find that. Mike Bithell, he's the guy who's all over the internet and everybody loves because he made a game. Fair, it's a good game. Yeah. Yes, this is representatives from EA, Ubisoft, Epic, BioWare, DICE, Infinity Ward, Microsoft, Sony, Telltale, Guerrilla, Crystal Dynamics, Deep Silver, 2K, Nintendo, Disney, Double Fine, Lionhead, Bohemia Interactive, Blizzard, Traveller's Tales, and ZeniMax, amongst others, have signed an open letter addressed to the gaming community calling for an end to harassment of developers and critics alike. We believe, it says, that everyone, no matter what gender, sexual orientation, ethnicity, or religion, has the right to play games, criticise games, and make games without getting harassed or threatened. It is the diversity of our community that allows games to flourish. It also requests that anyone who witnesses harassment or abuse make a stand against it and report it to the relevant site. At the same time, the International Game Developers Association have announced they've been approached by and are working with the FBI to try and tackle the recent rise in harassment suffered by game developers online. So yeah, just be nice.
Yeah, if you could, that'd be great.
That'd be great, yeah.
Shout outs to Twitter for ignoring anyone reporting a death threat if it's not to them.
Twitter is just they came up with this great idea, but they don't know what it is, do they?
Yeah.
That's the thing. The people behind Twitter came up with this thing that's great, but they don't understand it themselves.
Well, I think part of the problem, I think you used to be able to report death threats on behalf of a third party, but everyone was just doing it all the time. And then, not everyone was doing it all the time, but there's always that small minority that ruin it for the rest of us kind of thing. And they realised they just didn't have the resources to do it for every third party, so they had to say, well, it's got to be you receiving them, sorry. Which, is not ideal.
It's possibly because some people's supporters would then go and blanket spam, because they'd be like, oh, this person is being mean to this person, report them
for death threats. That's what I mean. Yeah, there's always that minority of people
not even necessarily for death threats. I mean, people just like two people can be arguing. I'm not talking about recent examples. I don't have an exact example, but I'm pretty sure I've seen this before, where people will basically go like, these people are being mean to that person, or are calling them this name.
Yeah.
Report them, and then just because they're all followers of the other person, even if it's been an argument where there is a lot of back and forth, but one person has more followers than the other, then they'll just get reported loads, and someone will get blocked, and they'll be like, Twitter blocked me because I was spammed by this person's followers, without investigating whether I'd actually threatened them or said anything which deserves it and such.
Yeah, it's that the minority that just kind of will jump on a bandwagon and make a mess.
Bandwagons should be banned. Right, yes. Back to you then, Dave.
Sticking with the even numbers, I'll take 6.
Number 6. Who's been pixelating pirates?
There is... Oh, okay, there is a story about pixel pirates, and I've forgotten what it is. Give me a minute.
I'm taking you down.
Give me a fucking minute. Oh, God, you're horrible.
Serial loser Hany is coming out fighting tonight, isn't he?
Yeah. Who does this to me? Oh, is this actually the game Pixel Piracy, or am I just going mad?
Yeah, you're just going mad.
Okay,
It's
that's
not
a shame.
pixel piracy.
Oh, but there's a game coming called Pixel Piracy, and that was what I heard
Is that
about.
on PC or?
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's part of the Steam community thing. It's whatever. I'm wrong again.
You have an opportunity to talk about it if it's interesting.
All right. Well, I mean, it's just a 2D side-scrolly game. Like it's it's one of those ones where someone goes crazy and goes, what happens if I make a side-scrolling 2D real-time strategy sandbox simulation game? And the answer is it's awful. So, but whatever.
But it's not out yet.
I don't actually know.
How do you know it's awful? Have you been paid to say that?
No. No, I'm a game developer. How am I paid to say anything?
I don't know. You're
buy
all
our
in bed
games
with each other.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. All of us as game developers are in collusion together. It's legit. It's a big conspiracy. Because what we do eventually is we're going to get every single games journalist sent to the moon, and they're going to go and live on the moon, and then we can make games and no one can write about them, and then people just have to make up their own minds, and all the games will be awful, but we'll market them really well, and people will buy games, and then anyone who says anything bad about the games gets sent to the moon.
Are you going to send them to the moon, like, to die and of?
I don't know. It depends how fast Google fixes their lunar base.
I was going to say, or is there an actual lunar? Because that sounds pretty cool. Like,
so maybe Sir Peter Dinklage could talk about them.
Keep your games. I can go and just go live on the moon and be like. Oh.
Okay, Hany, do you want to have a go?
Yeah, I think it's the Sims 4.
Yeah, it is related to Sims 4. Yes.
Yeah, The Sims 4 has an anti-piracy feature which uses the pixely graphical effect that usually just obscures like The Sims genitals and such, but it applies it to like half the scenery or something as well.
Yeah.
If you're using a pirated copy, and obviously this has hit the internet waves or whatever you want to call it, because people have been complaining about this quote-unquote glitch on the official forums and saying, oh, look, there's this terrible bug in your game. How could you release it like this? At which point the developers have gone, yeah, that's because you stole it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. This is Maxis, developers of Sims 4. They seem to have caught out a number of pirates, with floods of them landing on the official Sims 4 forum looking for a fix to a pixelation glitch that seems to that sees the effect used for preserving a Sim's modesty expanding to block out all manner of in-game objects and rendering the game unplayable. The effect, it turns out, isn't a glitch, but a way of identifying if the copy of the game being played is a legitimately purchased one, and all those asking for a fix effectively running up their black flags.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of games that do this.
Yeah.
So obviously, there was Game Dev Story was one of the bigger ones because they actually put piracy into the game, and you lost all your money. But that, I mean, it's been happening for a while. Securom did this. It hooks. Keg allows you to still. It's a Steam content encryption system allows you to do it as well. We've done it for a bunch of games. I remember working on some of them for Operation Flashpoint Red River. We'd do weird shit. Like obviously, you start with the ridiculous bugs, which is like the game crashes as soon as you start it, because people will still fix the hooks and recrack the game. So you start with the really obvious ones, and then you make them slightly more subtle as time goes on. Like the further you get through, we had one where the draw distance slowly decreases as you play the game until you can barely see like 6 inches in front of you. We had one where obviously grenades are a thing you throw, and they, normally they were just set for 5 seconds, but if you had the game pirated, it was just set to a random number between 0 and 10. So you'd prime a grenade and immediately blow yourself up. we made your display reticule meaningless, like you just shoot arbitrarily, randomly all over the place and stuff like that. And people, we still, and that's how you deal with some of them. Is just you just make the game.
Sorry.
But the problem we had, you're doing this problem where you make the game bad, but if you make the game bad in a subtle way, like people generally don't believe you're saying, "Oh, that's an anti-piracy measure." Like I tried to throw a grenade and my hand blew my hand off. The game just randomly assigns numbers to grenades. Oh, that's an anti-piracy measure. Totally an anti-piracy measure. People are like, no, it isn't. You're just bad. So
I am actually like embarrassed by, in the same way some people are embarrassed by groups of certain parts of the gaming community or whatever, as has come up recently. I'm embarrassed by the stupid pirates we have these days.
Yeah,
I look at them as a veteran pirate of the old pirate wars or whatever decades ago. I basically look at them and going, how could you be so fucking stupid? Like, you're a disgrace. Get the fuck out.
There's no honor among thieves these days, is there?
It's idiots. I'm like, look, you didn't get anything officially. How can you go on a forum and ask for stuff? Or also, just Google the fucking thing. There'll be a forum out there, probably for pirates, on one of the no CD crack websites that actually says, by the way, there's this measure in the game and we haven't gotten around it yet.
Well, it's the whole personal responsibility thing, isn't it? You get that in normal shopping. You look at people who have been complaining about like websites like Not Always Right, where people will do something completely idiotic and they'll say, well, how was I supposed to know? It's like, well, it's a sign right in front of you. You can't expect me to read. It's that kind of self-entitlement where you've got to do this all for me, and if it's wrong, it's your fault, regardless of if I've actually stolen it.
The whole piracy or pirates complaining about the game and such is something Miles Jacobson of Sports Interactive, makers of Football Manager, has long complained about. Which
good plug. I like it. Great game, by the way.
I'm not a fan of the game. I'm just filling in for any. Our legions of fans who just like our voices.
The books keep rolling in, Hany.
They love our voices, but know nothing about the video games industry. But yeah, he's one of the strongest anti-piracy people out there, along with the whole, it's like stealing a car or something like that, one-to-one lost sale type stuff. Although he may have admitted it's not quite a one-to-one lost sale at some point. But basically, I can understand why he gets so angry about it when you have people flooding your forums with questions, and he goes, "You haven't even paid for the bloody thing." It's like, aggravating.
I say, don't advocate piracy, but I also don't believe that a pirated game is a lost sale. No. But, doesn't make it right.
Don't be a stupid pirate anyway, if you're in the wrong...
If you're going to steal something, then don't complain about it when it doesn't work the way you want it to.
If you're going to steal it, please.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, right. Whose question was that?
That was mine.
That was yours.
I know it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to know because Hany's answering all the questions, and I'm not answering all the questions.
Am I?
Storming it tonight. Yeah. Right, Hany. All those odd numbers that you love.
Yeah, I know.
Pick one.
One.
Oh, I wasn't saying pick one. I was saying pick one. You had a choice. You didn't have to pick one.
I didn't take it as a sly suggestion. Wink, wink. Don't worry. Just full disclosure. I picked one independently.
Some kind of ganging up against me now. If I win too many.
I picked one of my own free will.
I can't work in these conditions.
Right, question one. Who might want a share of Take-Two's success?
I might have to pass this one over. I'm trying to remember. I'm getting deja vu. I was going to say there's EA looking to buy Take-Two again, or the rumors again that they're going to buy Take-Two, because I'm pretty sure that's happened at least twice already, like a couple of years ago, or every couple of years before a GTA comes out. Even though Take-Two publish other games which are pretty successful, including BioShock and such, for some reason analysts keep going, "Oh, it looks like they might be bought out by EA." There are rumblings. I'm like, "What? They're doing all right. It's not like GTA is the only moneymaker they've got." I have no idea whether that's the case or not, but
no.
You tried.
Well, it's
I mean,
happened
you're
a couple of times before.
You're not far wrong, but no.
It's not EA. It's.
Do you want to have a go, Dave?
Yeah, it's Actilizard.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it could just be a rumor, but
That's my point. It's happened at least twice before.
Yeah, it's one of those things you should do. Like Take-Two do it occasionally. It seems like they just do it deliberately. It's like, oh, our stock prices are going. Let's say we're going to get bought out by somebody, and then their share prices go up a bit. But yeah, there's rumors about Activision, Blizzard, Actilizard, Blivision, whatever you want to call them.
ActiBliz, I thought was another one.
I call them Actilizard, whatever.
That's quite a good one.
Yeah, and their share prices rose by about 5% on Friday from it, and then that was it. And then nobody heard anything else since then.
Yep, pretty much. Yep. This is shares in Grand Theft Auto publisher Take-Two rose a little over 4% on the back of rumours that Activision were planning a buyout. It's not the first time Take-Two have been subject to takeover talk, as EA attempted to take control of the company back in 2008, offering $26 per share, valuing the company at $2 billion. At a time when its share value gave it a valuation of around $1.25 billion. Although obviously the rumours don't stipulate what kind of share price Activision are offering to pay. Probably because it's bollocks, and like you say, it's just... Yeah.
It's like was it a few months ago, there was that news story about the shareholders of Capcom, I think it was, refused to sign some kind of legal document which basically meant Capcom couldn't be bought out. And then instead of basically they just didn't sign this waiver or whatever it was, or didn't sign this piece of paper, but instead all the sites were like, Capcom might be bought. Capcom up for sale, and certainly they'll try and say, we never said it was confirmed. We're like, yeah, but your bloody headlines all sort of gave that impression, which resulted in loads of people tweeting things like, it would be really wise for Nintendo to buy Capcom, or actually look how good this move would be, and then justifying it with several tweets. And I'm like, stop getting ahead of stuff again, which it's probably not even at the rumor phase because it's just an unrelated piece of news.
Good okay. Right. So
My
we
turn.
have 3 and 5 remaining.
5, please.
Number 5. Which YouTube celebrity has said no comment?
Who has disabled comments on their videos? Someone was muting it. I know Total Biscuit mentioned it, but I don't think it was him that's actually disabled the comments. Who did it? It's one of the really, really, really popular ones. I could just start naming YouTube celebrities and see if I get it right.
Well, don't forget, every wrong one gives Hany points. So.
Really?
Yeah.
This is... okay.
Don't tell him.
Well, I was gonna... Okay, the biggest one, PewDiePie. Again, it's PewDiePie again. Let's do this. Him again. Always him. Always PewDiePie. It's him.
It is?
Yes!
Lucky.
Yeah. This is Level Up Podquiz's all-time #1 favourite YouTuber, PewDiePie.
And biggest fan.
Yeah, he loves us to bits.
Maybe. Yeah. Prove me wrong.
Yeah, he sent me an email, just said how much he loves us, and he wishes every single one of his subscribers would listen to us without fail.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely true. Absolutely happened. You can't prove otherwise.
Thankfully, the internet doesn't need proof.
Yeah, exactly. I said it, so it must be true. And I actually, since we spoke about him, I've actually been and looked at some of his videos, and yeah, I'm not a fan, but I actually find the guy himself immensely likable. His enthusiasm and just the joy, I can see why he's popular. So fair play. Yeah, and he does say PewDiePie. But he says it really funny and really strange, and that's not because of his accent, it's just because he kind of screeches the pew pie bit. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, so this is PewDiePie, who has disabled comments on his YouTube channel. In a video posted, he said he was tired of the spam, trolls, and people using his comment section for self-promotion, so was closing it to his 30 million subscribers. For a celebrity whose very celebrity and annual $4 million income was built on his interaction with his audience, it'll be interesting to see if this has an impact on his earning potential and if other channels follow suit. Interesting move.
Yeah, I can't see it actually going that. I think for him it's all right because he's got, as you said, 15 million subscribers. So if he loses 10% of them, it's not that bad. But I would like to see how it ends
30
up.
million, wasn't it?
Yes.
That's 30 million. Well, I mean, even
Do I get a point?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
You listened better than I did.
You can repeat what
How's
I've
some
said.
XP? Yes.
Parrot bonus.
Yeah, I mean, if he loses 10% of those, it's not the end of the world. He's still got 27 million. So it's. I think some people will go away because some people were just there because obviously they could self-promote and they did want to just have an argument on the internet, and that was a good place to have an argument because there were many other people with whom to argue. But I think a lot of them will just still be there for the content. Like not. It depends what portion of his subscribers comment on each of his videos. A question for the ages.
Yeah, do you guys ever comment on videos?
Not really.
If they're
very
incorrect, I will, but only if like they're legitimately factually incorrect and no one's actually done anything about it. But other than that, I stay the hell away.
Yeah, I don't recall commenting much. I think the most comments I've left on any video was any video of mine that someone asked a question on.
Yeah, I don't leave comments, but equally I wish people would leave comments on my stuff just so that I know if what I'm doing is okay. But I don't want people leaving comments just for the sake of comment. I'd like people to put, oh, you need to do this, or you need to do that, or you should do this, or you should do that, or I like this, I don't like that. You know,
I could log in and just type first onto each of you. Sorry, that implies you have no comments.
The comments, yeah, that was pretty mean.
I didn't actually.
That was a great subtle jibe. I loved it. That was some trolling art form right there.
it was beautiful.
It was unintentional. I'm half asleep.
Experience today.
Oh,
let me just get a jack under this level meter. So. Yeah. Okay, Hany. That leaves you with number 3. Yeah. Why might we finally be one Europe? One Europe.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. That doesn't ring any bells. Actually, hold on. Wait. It's starting to ring bells. Because the Xbox One has finally been released in all European regions.
Did you look? Be honest now. Did you just look that up?
No, I haven't moved. I just got the hint from what you were saying, and I recalled someone a couple of weeks ago saying, because the numbers for the PS4 and Xbox One and PS4 selling better, and then they remarked that it may also be because the Xbox One, I can't remember the exact numbers, but it isn't out in like half as many regions as the PS4 is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, the PS4's outselling Xbox One 3-1, but that's in its home territory of America. So
yeah.
Whether yeah.
But also, yeah, I think I can't remember, as I say, the exact numbers, but the actual amount was quite vast, and I was like, "What? Why on earth aren't they, pulling their socks up or whatever?" I mean, it just got released in Japan, didn't it? And I think someone. I don't know how accurate they were or how many days ago, or if this was like an inaccurate picture from like a week ago, but there was a tweet that said something like, here's the queue for the Xbox One, and there was like one person standing outside the shop. Or someone else said like the amount of reporters that have gone to the shop to report on it are more than the actual people going to buy it.
That's it. Oh, poor Microsoft. Yeah, this is the Xbox One, which launches in 28 more countries throughout September, but significantly for Europe, Friday the 5th sees the console finally joining its European neighbours France, Germany, Ireland, Italy, Spain and the UK by arriving in Belgium, Czech Republic, Denmark, Finland, Greece, Hungary, the Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Slovakia, Sweden and Switzerland. So there you go. Right, yes, a few other news snippets. Despite its failure to pass certification on the PS4 earlier this month, Minecraft has now launched on the next gen, with both Xbox One and PS4 versions available for download. Owners of 360 and PS3 versions also won't need to cough up the full price for these expanded versions, as both can be added to your Live or PSN accounts for around £4 if you already own the previous gen versions. That's particularly good news for PlayStation completists, as the PS3 version, already a couple of quid cheaper than the 360 version, is also cross-buy, so owners will automatically get the Vita version when it launches. So Vita, PS3 and PS4 versions for around 17 quid. That's a pretty much a bargain, that, isn't it?
I suppose. I haven't actually played any Minecraft at all.
I like Agrarian Skies. PC version's obviously immensely superior because you can just play random modded versions, which are actually really, really good.
PC versions are always superior.
See, I actually prefer the console. I'm going to be controversial. I prefer the console version because it's more user friendly. Again, I was one of those people that signed up for Minecraft when it was in the alpha stage, and put my money down straight away because I like the concept of it, but I could never get to grips with it. Partly time, partly patience, and just it was like, what the hell? I mean, it is the very truest implementation of open sandbox, isn't it? It's like, here you are, here's everything, work it out, which brilliant if you've got the time and patience to do that. Not for me. Whereas obviously the console version holds your hand, which I like. And
I don't know if
multiplayer on one screen, play it with me little ones, which is nice.
I don't know if anyone else saw this, but there may have been some glitch or something when it first launched on Xbox One, because
115 quid.
Yeah, the internet user, sorry, someone on Twitter called Del Toro shared a screenshot of that, and it was like 114.99, and I was like, okay, a bit steep.
Yeah, bit of a typo on that. Whoever put that up.
I wonder what resolution and how many frames it's running.
Yep. The race is set to school Forza and Gran Turismo fans. Project Cars has a confirmed release date of the 21st of November on Xbox One, PS4 and PC, with the Wii U version still supposedly coming in 2015.
Best version. I did an air fist bump in case no one saw that.
You mean in case nobody saw that?
They should have got it from my telepathic energy that will be recorded.
It's the sound of the wind flying past the mic as the fist pumps.
Or just the tumbleweed that was... Anyway.
How
allegedly fist bumps the air.
How do you feel about Project Cars, Dave? And just on a again competitive basis, obviously you being Codemasters, who are the home of racing games.
Well, we make some racing games. I've played a couple of other cars games. I mean, I'm actually quite fond of things like Trackmania as well. I think they, those kind of really, really, really twitch on the edge racing games are pretty good fun. And some of the things in Project Cars, Project Cars is really nice looking. They've put a lot of work into it, and that's awesome because it's good to have, and then people just like, I'm going to make this engine and it's going to be an amazing car thing. I'm interested to see how they're going to handle things like licensing because it's expensive, and so they better be backed pretty well for that kind of stuff because it's going to cost them a lot of money. So
Bandai Namco publishing it, isn't it?
Yeah, which is weird because they also publish us. They're our distributor in Europe. So I'm impressed that they're quite happy to go with that. But so it'll be cool. It's good to have the competition. Obviously, its main competitor are games like Grid rather than F1. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see what they can do with it.
I'm quite looking forward to it. Because again, I'm not a fan of the Forza or Gran Turismo games. Because although they claim to be racing simulators, I don't think they are. I'm looking forward to getting down to some serious Assetto Corsa over the next few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I've bought a squash ball and everything.
Well,
yeah. For those uninitiated, the squash ball goes behind the brake pedal to make braking feel more realistic. Okay. There you go. Anyone who owns a Logitech Driving Force GT, get a cheap squash ball, stick it behind your brake pedal. Top tip. Right, a game that is definitely coming to the Wii U is Bayonetta 2, now confirmed for an October the 24th release. There will be 3 retail units, a first print limited edition, and a special edition, which both also contain the original Bayonetta, and a Solus edition, which, as the name suggests, only contains the sequel. Both games will simultaneously release on the Nintendo eShop too, so finally something for Wii U owners to be happy about.
What do you mean, fine?
Good work.
Right, and that was all the video game industry news. That's everything that happened. And if you think anything else happened, it didn't. You imagined it.
What? Okay, this is the thing. I planned this. I thought I've got all these. I've learned all this cool news. I'm going to use it, and none of the questions. Like Google have had to repay $19 million, or have to set aside $19 million because they lost well, I mean, I think it was just a European case where they didn't explicitly inform users enough about microtransactions in their game, so they have to pay.
You're talking about it's the FTC,
all the kids.
Isn't it?
Yes, all the kids.
That's America again. Yeah.
Oh, is that America again? All the kids.
Yeah, Federal Trade
stuff.
Commission.
Yeah, all right.
I'm just cutting down your news that you went and prepared. The Federal Trade Commission who whined at Apple, and then I think whined at... I can't remember actually if they whined at Amazon or it was actually a European group who whined at Amazon. But they're now going after Google for $19 million. And at this point, I'm tired of all the stupid whining, because people can't control their kids.
Exactly why we didn't cover it tonight.
Wow.
No, we've covered the story before. It's just that the final settlements come in, but the story we have covered.
Okay. So. Unreal Engine 4 is now free for schools and universities. That's really good news because it's a great engine.
Yeah, I did think about covering that, but other than the fact that the Unreal Engine 4 is going to be available for schools, I don't know enough about it.
No, it's really... It destroys... I mean, the problem with schools and universities is that their hardware isn't great usually, and the Unreal Engine 4 will... It just destroys it. It eats it. It's so hungry. But it's hungry because it's so good. Like, you can develop a game... Like, it's weird to say, but you can develop a game in real time. You can develop the game as you're playing it. I mean, it's that good. It's a really, really powerful engine. And the fact that it's going to be free for schools and universities, it's already very reasonable for those who want to just do some stuff in your house. But having it free for schools and universities is... Then there's the full Unreal Engine, I believe, for schools and universities, which is also really, really good. And a piece of news that came through about 2 hours ago. If you're familiar with... Did any of you follow the TF2 kind of soldier versus demo man thing that they did a long time ago?
No.
Okay. Well, they had, like, fake, like, posters and stuff. There was a whole story behind it. The soldier and demo man used to get on, but they have, like... Valve do a lot of storytelling behind the TF2 stuff, and it ended up with these fake propaganda posters, and one of them basically says "soldiers eat babies" and has a picture of a soldier from TF2 with claws eating a baby. And this turned up. The Russian media thought it was actual propaganda, and so have posted about it on their news channels. So there's there's a YouTube video of a Russian news broadcast, obviously in Russian, but with this picture behind it, when them talking about it, and they thought it was US propaganda against Russia.
Oh dear. Right. News done, and even some new news that we didn't even know about was news before it was news.
Did someone fall off a chair there, by the way?
That was me just banging the table.
I thought it was, and then I was like, I haven't heard that sound effect. It's like Dave falling off a chair. Anyway.
Excuse me while I pop next door and execute my children. Right. fingers on your buzzers. Name the original developers of Bayonetta.
None of us have played it.
Hany.
They say original developers. That's supposed to confuse me or something. Platinum.
It is Platinum Games. I said original developers to distinguish them from Next Entertainment, who did the PlayStation 3 version.
Ah, okay. I thought you were trying to confuse, the whole...
No, and B-Tribe, who've done the Wii U version. But no, obviously when Bayonetta first came out, Platinum did the 360 version, but they farmed the PS3 version out. Something which they have vocally regretted since. Yeah, well, Platinum have said that they wish they had the resources at the time to do it in-house because the PS3 version was disappointing. And certainly people I know who've played both versions have commented that the PS3 one is a bit of a letdown. It's not a massive letdown. I think it's only really bad if you've played the 360 version first.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
that's
what a lot of people are saying, like it's playable. Yeah.
Okay. What is Bayonetta?
The game?
I was going to say that is a slightly confusing question, but I'm going to reply it a game, but also she's the main character and a witch.
A witch is the answer I was looking for.
Okay.
I would also have accepted teenage boys fetish fantasy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And now we head over to the Stuart Luff Appreciation Corner. This week, Stuart's questions, plural, are Rayman related.
Oh,
great.
Good luck. Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Rayman? It's great, Rayman.
They're just that we don't really know much about him.
They're good games. Yeah. They're good, fun games. You should play them.
I played like the first one.
Yeah, I've played them. It's just not
Back and Beyond.
That was,
I haven't completed that. You sort of. I've played a bit, and I haven't delved into the lore of. Anyway, go on.
Oh. Yes. You're not going to do too well here, then, are you, gentlemen? Name the bug-like species the players collect during gameplay.
I'm going to say lums.
They are lums, indeed. Little luminescent bugs. Lums. That's absolutely right. Next question. What is the name of the world that the Rayman series takes place in?
I definitely won't be able to remember that because each level in the Legends one has some weird and wonderful name. Like a very strange long name, and I'm not.
The world is referred to as the Glade of Dreams. Yeah.
I was going to say that's gay, which is very sort of.
I'd also have accepted the Crossroads of Dreams. So apparently that's what it was originally known as in the first game or something.
Well, there you go.
See, I never played the early Rayman games. I've come to Rayman relatively late with Origins and Legends, and they're brilliant.
Yeah, I played the because the first one was on PC as well as PS1, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, it was on the first one was on literally everything.
Yeah, but as a launch thing, it was kind of known. It was like, oh, look at this pretty PS1 platform game. Yeah. Which kind of, in a way, sort of got famous on the back of looking pretty, but. Yeah, I found the gameplay kind of, boring. I was like, oh, apart from it being a quirky French thing, the gameplay itself doesn't seem that different or inspired, whereas the more recent ones have a lot of character.
And lots of characters as well.
Yeah.
Lots to choose from. No, great games. Good. Origins and Legends, although if you're only going to pick one of them, they are very similar. So if you're only going to pick one, get Legends,
because it's got some of the Origins levels in it as well.
Yeah,
you unlock them. Yeah, it's really good.
There's a great little football type thing mini game. There's 1 versus 1 that's great fun.
That got aggravated. I kept kicking the bloody thing into the air and then missing it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Right, so thanks very much to Stuart for sending those in and for all the other questions sent in throughout this run. Greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
Good work.
Right, going to stick with Rayman to a degree. Also responsible for Beyond Good and Evil, who is the Rayman series creator? Hany.
Michel Ancel.
It is indeed.
I'm glad you
got that. Well, I'm glad. Well, I'm going with that because I wasn't sure whether it would be Michel or Michael. So I'm glad you answered that. So
if it's French, it's probably going to be Michel.
It's Michel. Yeah, I used to work with someone called Michel. So
I was too slow. I actually knew that answer. It's a shame.
That's right, you've been too slow for a while now.
Yeah, no, I'm not old, man.
Meow. Originally a spin-off from Rayman, before becoming a franchise in their own right, what are the lunatic bunny-like creatures? Hany.
You're referring to the Rabbids?
I am referring indeed to the rabbits. Crazy little bunny things. And finally, last question of the night, of the series, and possibly ever. Who created Minecraft?
God damn it.
Dave.
That would be Notch.
Give me a little more. Give me more.
What's his full name?
Give me more.
Oh, God, I follow him on Twitter. What is his name?
Yeah, best thing is I said that and my mind went blank.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Thanks for just Marcus Person. There we go.
There you go. Marcus Notch Person, as he's always referred to.
I could only think of Michelle. I think its name begins with M. Its name begins with M. It's not Michelle. Damn it.
Is it Marcus Alexi Person?
Marcus Notch Person. I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah, because Notches isn't like nickname handles.
Yeah.
Something,
I was going to say Mojang, but I assume you wanted the actual.
Yes, I wanted the
person
man.
name.
Right, so totting up the scores, I can see that you both have scored.
Good.
You both scored well. But at the end of the day, gaming isn't a competition. It should be about peace, love and harmony, about sharing your hobby, not letting it define you. Be a gamer if you want. I really don't care. As long as you're having fun with it and you're not being mean to anybody else, then that's all good. So I'm not going to be mean to either of you. In my book, you're both losers. So.
Well, fuck you. I'm coming back to that.
What you really feel.
But no, whether it's by accident or design, you have both reached level 6. So you're both winners. You're both lovely, you're both wonderful.
Whatever. If it's a draw, it still means that Dave's winning streak has gone down the...
Still undefeated in season 2.
That's good enough for me.
So thank you to everybody out there in internet land listening today or any other previous day to any of these ramshackle shows we've thrown together. For now, at least, from me, Hany and Dave, thank you and goodbye.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Level Up was hosted by me, Kev Furlong, and was a fairly whirly production.
Yes.
Yeah, I wrote a parody to Tribute, as in, you know, this Tenacious D song, when we were working on Medieval 2 Total War. Yeah.
Ride the best bug in the world. I'll shred your souls. And we said, okay, but first thing we found in the med, it just so happened to be the best bug in the world. It was the best bug in the world. Oh, I can't even write speak. I'm fine. I got as far as the best bug in the world. I did.
It's commendable. It was very, very good.
I'm a bass. That was really hard to do.